The University of Detroit Mercy presents another brand new episode of Ask the Professor, the radio show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. Today's program was recorded using Zoom video conferencing technology.
The University Tower chimes, bringing another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Maggio. Let me introduce to you our panel for today. Somehow, he always ends up in the upper left. It's Professor Dave Chow.
Oh, pleasure to be here, as always.
Excellent. How are the Medicine Hat Tigers doing this season?
They're just in training camp right now.
Oh, okay.
Slow start. So
okay, slow start. Yep.
Yes.
Just like the Detroit Tigers are in training
yeah.
camp right now.
Was it pitchers and catchers?
Pitchers and catchers, yeah, pitchers and catchers. So
we shall see. It'll be an interesting season.
Yeah, Comerica Park released a statement kind of quietly saying, even though, of course, the park holds 48,000, they were hoping to have about 8,000 fans there on opening day going forward. So
good luck.
Yep, good luck indeed.
Yes.
Someone who knows a lot about baseball, it's Professor Heather Hill.
I don't know if I'd say that, but thank you, Matt.
Well, I was thinking about you today because there was a news report that the Tigers had possibly picked up the contract of one Rick Porcello, former Boston Red Sox pitcher.
I have not been online today, so I would not be aware of that, but it wouldn't surprise me because the Red Sox don't seem to be doing anything in terms of moves this season. I don't know what they think they're doing, but anyway, I continue to be a fan.
Of course.
Especially compared to the stupid Yankees.
Well, yeah, I have to agree with that.
Everybody gets to hate the Yankees because they're the Yankees.
That's easy. I mean, that's like making fun of Ted Cruz.
It's like hating the Patriots. I mean,
hey.
Has anybody created a phrase now? I think I'm going to pull a Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz pulled
I'm sure that will happen. Yeah. His attempts to walk it back were pretty lame. And
throwing his kids under the bus.
Yeah. Just own it, dude.
You can count on SNL to do a bit about that tomorrow night.
No question about it.
I can't wait
about it.
Oh, I know.
That's a TV ad that just writes itself for Democrats when the next time.
Just show the video of him getting on the plane. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like Ted Cruz, I blame my kids. Professor Stephanie Conant is here with us today.
I was hoping I wasn't going to follow that one.
Sorry.
Hi. That's okay.
What have you got to say about Ted Cruz? No, it's really sad.
Nothing nice. And they say if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
It feels kind of brutal.
Between him and other certain people that passed away this week, I've tried to say very little. So
Dave and I were texting about that briefly.
Yep.
It's probably better that the less said, the better. Yeah.
Circle of life.
Yeah.
Happens.
Circle
we'll
of
say about
it. In terms of the words of my 13-year-old who watches the early morning news with my wife and I.
Yeah.
What's up with that guy? I'm like, okay, no, that's
exactly.
Not going to just let you figure that out from there.
Nothing good.
Professor Stephen Manning is here with us today.
Good afternoon.
What's going on?
What's going on? Had the first COVID shot this morning.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Hey.
Going down that road.
Took away somebody's age a little bit.
Yeah, the second one in 3 weeks from today. So
okay,
it was surprisingly efficient too.
Where did you go?
I'm in the Henry Ford system through the university, and even as a retiree. And I went up to, registered before age and all this stuff. And they said, we're ready for you. And this was, I think, last Saturday. The first openings were today. They had tons of them all day Monday morning, all day Monday afternoon. So I just picked a random time. Not too early, obviously. And it was up in Troy.
Hey.
Which it's on.
That's a hike.
Maple. It's on Maple. Well, that was the closest one. It was on
sure.
Maple, in Troy and 20 minutes away. But it was very efficiently run. You park, you go in, you get checked. I was in and out in. Actually, the most time is after you get the shot.
Right.
You go to this waiting room and you wait for 15 minutes to make sure you don't have any effects. So in and out,
Nice.
well done. Yeah.
Very good.
Good.
Professor Beth Oljar is certainly waiting for her vaccination whenever that time will come.
Yes, it would be nice if it would come soon, because I feel like I've survived the first wave of this, but these variants are kind of freaking me out. So
yes,
I want to, but I didn't identify myself as an essential worker because I don't think my level of education is quite essential. So
you have a PhD, don't you?
Yeah.
You have a cat that relies on you, don't you?
I do, but
that's three.
There are lots of other people who should get that thing before me, and I have comorbidities. So,
Sure.
I mean, I can wait my turn. I'm patient, and
you're patient.
Hope for the best. Actually, I'm not. I'm not a patient person at all, except with students. That's it. It's only when I'm teaching.
Students in pandemics.
Well,
And litter boxes.
I'd rather have the vaccine sooner rather than later, but I will trust that things will work out.
It will coincide with the change in weather and everything will feel new like the spring.
I could get it on my birthday. That would be
there. You go.
That's in April.
Professor Dan Maggio is here in his hipster studio apartment.
Yes. I won the lottery. I moved. Hi, Matt.
What's going on, Dan?
It's not much. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Yep.
With nothing to do. So,
yeah, I'm so sorry. You messaged me the other day. You're like, please tell me that the fish fry is gonna
I want fish
Sorry,
fry.
man.
So we're gonna look at some other places.
Scotty Simpson's.
Scotty Simpson's, yeah.
Where's that? Oh, you've talked about that.
In
Yes.
the city. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we may venture off for some fish fry. So
There you go.
Hey, Dan, I did see Republica's offering a good-looking fish fry today on their Instagram.
Okay.
all right, we could consider that.
Yep.
Put it on the to-do list.
So we did, but we missed the shrine. It was kind of special.
And it wasn't fried. That's what made it so special.
baked.
Everything was baked so that
Right.
it felt slightly less bad. And then you walk in and they were making these this tall Sanders hot fudge cream puffs. And every table had a brownie or a Girl Scout
Mhm.
stationed at it.
So that's the other thing is that it's really hard. I don't know if anybody else is addicted to Girl Scout cookies, but it's really hard to find them this
Yeah.
year.
I haven't bought any this year.
Yes.
So the only opportunity I had, and I caught it on Facebook, some Girl Scout troop was set up shop in the Berkeley High School parking lot last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. You could just drive up and just purchase, cases.
Dan, go check out the Hollywood Market. They're usually inside the alcove.
I know, but they haven't been. So
I meant to order some from Kendra's
Kendra.
girls, but I just
I did.
I think we missed
Oh, you
out on
did?
that one. Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
It was a while ago, though. I don't know where those damn cookies are.
She cast it. She checked, didn't she?
Heather, I will bring you a box of cookies. All I have is peanut butter.
No, it's fine. I'm not. I just like to support them.
So I did. I bought many actually. So
This is one way of getting
last-
Kendra back on the show.
But certainly not least on our panel for today is Professor Jeff Boats.
He's
I feel
hoarding-
bad now.
he's
I'm
got
probably
You've got all the cookies, Jeff, right?
no. I was just thinking I'm probably the only person here who doesn't eat cookies,
Oh no.
like ever. I don't even make Christmas cookies.
You can traffic in them though.
Launder.
See me down in the State Fair area peddling cookies. As I walk down the street, waving at the drivers.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
either
some
that or
sick
like a carton
chocolate
of
chip.
cigarettes,
You mean on 8 Mile? You got a problem with 8 Mile, Jeff?
8 Mile, no.
I can see it from here. So
Like Russia.
Exactly.
I think 8 Mile's a little closer.
Well, folks, this is a program that can send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. You can send us questions in a number of ways. You can email us at atp@udmercy.edu. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram or listen on your favorite smart speaker by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. We had a short chat before the show today and talked about the very real possibility sometime in the not too distant future where we might even be able to have some of our listeners on one of our Zoom calls. And we're going to obscure our faces and, mask our voices and see
pixelation. Lots of pixelation.
Exactly. Lots of pixelation like those old crime dramas. But see if you can stump us and we'll see what we can come up with. Speaking of stumpage, I got a set of questions sent in by one Professor Stephen Manning. You might know him.
Who?
Conflict of interest.
Recusal.
Yeah. We will see.
We might know him from such shows as this one.
Along with Troy McClure.
We'll see if Stephen remembers his correct responses or if any of us can come up with them here too. A little bit all over the map, but Stephen loves to traffic in that miscellany that is all American life, let me tell you.
Potpourri.
I'm out of it then.
A potpourri.
That's right.
Which country in a little more than just a decade went from being Latin America's richest nation to its absolute poorest?
Venezuela.
Yeah. Yes, Venezuela. First shot, Beth. First shot. Yeah. Little Venice, remember from last time? Little Venice. It's kind of sad. The oligarchs took over.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, that's because Miguel Cabrera left.
Yeah, exactly. Miguel Cabrera, Detroit's hugest sports icon now that we lost Blake Griffin and Matthew Stafford.
And half of Venezuela's GDP.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly.
So Washington State votes almost exclusively by mail. A study conducted by the Secretary of State in Washington State found how many potential cases of improper voting in a 2018 election out of more than 3.1 million ballots cast. We're actually looking for a number.
Less than 1%.
2.
Heather stole my answer of 10.
Heather, what were you saying?
10.
10? You're off by an order of magnitude, but as far as I'm concerned, we're dealing with some pretty big numbers here. 142 cases of fraud.
Hey, I said 145.
I heard that.
Did?
Yeah.
Holy
I
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, I want credit for these.
You got it.
You get it?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was
You get
kind of
extra credit.
obsessed
I'm just
by
amazed that guess was that close.
You're a math guy. That's why.
I was obsessed by the percentage, which is listed here as 0.004%.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was trying to convey that it's absolutely statistically negligible with 2, but I didn't quite convey that.
Mm-hmm. But you know what the problem is, Beth, is the more deeper we get into this stuff, you realize how much of the standard population does not understand statistics in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Yeah.
That's why
we have it in the core.
That's right.
Majority of the population can't handle a double turning lane. You can't possibly expect them to handle statistics.
I figured you were going to say something like that or half off sour cream. It's like one or the other.
Well, my favorite story was when I went into a store once and pop 2-liter was priced at 0.99 cents. And I thought, oh, what a great deal. I'll take 100 of them. But anyway.
Awesome. The United States is home to about 7% of the Somalian diaspora. In which state is the largest concentration of Somali refugees?
Minnesota.
Yeah, it's Minnesota. It is, to make the best analogy, for whatever reason, we have a very large majority population of Chaldeans. That would be Christian, Catholic, mostly Middle Easterners in the Detroit area. And I lived in the Twin Cities for about a year and a half. And it's kind of interesting to see how a culture can permeate a American culture like that. Pretty cool, actually.
That's Representative Ilhan Omar is one of those refugees, actually. So,
by virtue of being in power for 26 years, who's sometimes known as Europe's last dictator? We could either get the name or maybe the country they're from.
Putin.
But that wouldn't.
It's good, but that's not
technically not Europe.
Oh,
Mussolini.
Queen Elizabeth?
No, Turkey. The Turkey. Erdogan.
Nope. The country, probably give it away. The country starts with the letter B, as in boy.
Belarus?
Belarus's leader, Lukashenko.
Oh, that guy.
I mean, dictator for 26 years? Geez, try a little harder. Come on. Go for a lifetime. What is California's share of the national gross domestic product of the United States of America?
1/6.
8%.
What's 1/6, Stan? Percent?
6.7%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta give it to Beth. It's 14.
California has the 6th largest economy in the world.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
So,
Interesting that you note here, Stephen. California currently is at 14.7. Let's put that at the end of 2020, up from 12.5 in 1997. So in a very short period of time, increasing all the more. Which state, I think you all remember this one, it's a great piece of American trivia, was the last to ratify the 19th Amendment? And when?
Alabama?
Wasn't Alabama.
Mississippi.
It was Mississippi. Yes,
Always a good guess, one of those two.
What year?
I just needed Dan to narrow it down for
Wasn't
me.
it just thanks, Stephanie? Wasn't it just very recently, in the last 20 years?
You could say that. It's a little bit further back from 20 years, but pretty recent.
sometime in the 70s.
In the
Remind me,
80s?
what was the 19th again? Was that women voting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So wait, women
73.
couldn't vote in Mississippi until
No, 2/3 of the states ratified it. So it, you know,
Oh,
They didn't have a
but
choice.
They just never got around to saying, "Okay, we agree to."
right.
I
Yeah.
did.
Exactly. Took
Oh,
them 65 years.
1957.
But what was it? Wasn't Wyoming like the first to allow women to vote?
That's
I
true.
remember. Yeah.
Local law.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, you know, you let them read, you let them vote. They want to own their own
Oh.
bodies. It's just mass hysteria.
It was the great year of 1984 when Mississippi allowed the 19th Amendment to get ratified. So you feel like
I thought
maybe
I said 84. Did I? Oh, no, I said 74. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay.
Close enough.
Sorry. No.
They put it on a Post-it note. It fell off the monitor, went behind the desk. You know, they were moving buildings. So like, oh, we forgot.
Oh, there it is.
Tabled.
Wow.
I mean, they're doing it anyway.
Right.
What's the big deal?
Right.
Yeah.
When and where was the articles of clothing known as the bikini invented?
In France.
Somewhere in Europe. France is a
France.
good guess.
It was France.
It
In
was
the
France.
20s?
Mhm. It was about 75 years ago, so that puts us a little bit further on from the 20s.
40s?
45.
Yeah. Was it named after the Bikini Atoll, if I remember
They were
right?
doing atomic bomb testing.
Yeah.
They said that when people saw the bikini, it was like a bomb went off, and that's where it got its name. For the record, Professor Manning also adds, what is wearing only a bikini bottom referred to as?
Scandalous.
A thong.
Topless.
Speedo.
All these are true statements. Apparently, it's called a monskini.
Monskini.
A manskimi or monskimi?
M-O-N, monskini.
Monskimi.
It's only a
Or
man skinny if
skinny.
Borat does that.
I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I can't unsee that image.
I-
Thank you.
Oh.
Have
Very
you ever heard
nice.
him interviewed, by the way? He
Mhm.
is completely opposite of his
Oh,
character.
yeah.
I was just reading an interview
He's,
about
he's
with him today. All
Yeah.
of that stuff from Borat, he was infiltrating the right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All made up. Yeah, I guess I'm just a little slow to the party. But
It's fun
Yeah.
to watch it, too.
He plays a French race car driver in the movie Talladega Nights, and he's absolutely brilliant and
Yep.
hysterical.
He
he's
is.
good as Abby Hoffman too. In
He's,
the trial.
Yes,
he's
he
the
was.
Peter Sellers of our generation.
Yeah.
He can be anybody, and he's hysterical.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I like that analogy. That's a good
Dr.
one.
Strangelove would be a good remake with him.
There you go. As of December 1st, 2020, what country had not recorded a single death from COVID-19?
Vermont.
New Zealand hasn't, I don't think.
Vatican
Australia.
City.
Oh, did you say country? I apologize.
Country.
Since when?
It would be as of December 1st of last year.
Is it a small island nation?
It is not an island, but it is a smaller nation.
Well, like Vatican City, Monaco,
Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Monaco,
New Zealand.
Clausen.
It's in Asia.
Oh,
In Asia.
Oh, and
like Laos? No.
North Korea,
Vietnam.
It was
Oh, Korea.
Vietnam, is what it says here.
Oh.
Vietnam.
It was what?
Vietnam.
Well, once I went to Asia, I was, fine.
Narrowed it down. What is Japan's adult obesity rate compared to a rate of 36.5% in the United States?
12%.
2%.
Well, less.
7.
That's what I was going to
1%.
say. Do you just mean less?
Maybe 5%.
Yeah, it's between Dan and Jeff. It's 4% is Japan's obesity rate.
Even
Half a
all those sumo wrestlers?
That's right.
Oh my God.
Those are imports.
They constitute the entirety of Japan's
Yeah,
obesity
just them.
problem, right? Just
3 of them.
collectively there.
The
And they're making
US,
it work for themselves.
The U.S. ranks as the 12th most obese country in the world, and Japan ranks 185th.
What
Okay,
is
is that?
is
Yeah,
it-
what's number 1?
yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
I don't have that here, I'm afraid.
Um,
I'm surprised it's not us.
I thought it was us. But
Me too.
Hmm.
What was the first state that put a seatbelt law on the books?
New Jersey.
Close.
New York.
First
It was New
state.
York. Yes.
Oh,
However, and I get reminded of this all the time as sort of a classic, Gen Xer. What year was that law passed?
72.
1984.
It was 1984. Yes, it was.
You know what? I grew up in New York, and I remember McDonald's had a thing where they gave you a piece of paper, and every time you wore a seatbelt, you put an X on the paper, and when you filled out the paper, you got a sundae.
Nice.
What?
Nice.
Man, that's incentive if I ever heard of it,
Yeah,
Man.
that was 81 or 82. That's why I guess a few years later.
Well, that was a huge battle because,
Yep.
we're basically kind of anti-paternalistic. So
Yep.
being told to do something, even for our own good, right, when it interferes with our liberty to, smash ourselves all over the highway, we're just not going to put up with it, right?
That's right. In that vein, and put it in a bucket labeled Nebraska has the only unicameral state legislature. What is the only state that still, as of 2021, does not have a mandatory seatbelt law?
Mississippi.
No.
Alabama.
Montana, or
Texas or
Idaho,
New Hampshire.
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Beth gets it again. It's New Hampshire. Live free or die. That's the way it goes.
Oh, no
Which
kidding.
is actually a really cool motto as
Yeah.
state mottos go, if they only weren't, quite so crazy.
I'm telling you, that's their state motto should be like a Bruce Willis movie. I mean,
was born
seriously.
in New Hampshire.
It definitely sounds, when you say it out loud, like airport fiction. Like, you expect to see that on the front of a really thick book that you don't remember anything that happened after you finish reading, What countries are the world's 3 largest growers or suppliers of hashish?
The Netherlands, Canada.
Growers, I'm thinking Southeast Asia.
I was going there too, actually, but maybe not Mexico.
Canada, not
Afghanistan?
Canada. Is it in
Afghanistan
Asia?
is one of them.
Okay.
Afghanistan is one of them.
Pakistan.
Nope.
Who else?
India,
Turkey?
Nope.
Vietnam.
Nope.
Russia?
Indonesia.
I'm trying to think of a way. I'm sorry, Heather, what did you just say?
Russia.
No, it's not Russia.
Not Indonesia.
I was joking.
Are they in South America?
Nope, I have one more in the Middle East. A great number of my students claim to have heritage that harkens back to this country, and they often go visit it.
Lebanon.
Lebanon is on the list. Yep. And the other one is a classic sort of country of, like, I want to travel and see this country that starts with the letter M.
Montenegro?
Morocco.
Morocco.
Oh.
Morocco. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Morocco, Afghanistan, Lebanon. Just like to point out, Afghanistan, if I remember correctly, Stephen, also has the corner on most of the natural opioid market. So they've got a lot going on over there. Great industry.
Poppies grow well, right?
Poppies grow well, yes. How many guns did Americans purchase from March through September? So that's the first part of the pandemic of 2020.
Oh,
Too
let's
many.
handle,
Too many.
let's handle this one mathematically.
600 million.
Less.
10 for every person in the country. So
Children included.
that's
I'm gonna guess.
course, yeah.
One for every 10% of the country. So let's say about 33 million.
No, much more than that.
No, actually, it's a little bit less, but
Really?
Jeff
Oh.
got to the order of magnitude very quickly. It was 15 million.
Okay. Jeff
Guns,
was pretty
but
close.
mathematically, what was the percentage increase in sales of guns during those months of the pandemic?
500%.
300%.
Say 150%.
It was 90%, basically
Oh.
91%.
Because you can shoot a virus. How does this? I mean,
No, I'll tell you exactly what the logic was behind that. It's because people were afraid someone would come for their clean water and food and stash and whatever.
toilet paper. You're right.
Mhm.
I remember
Yeah.
thinking when this started that, we'd see people out there breathing on each other and it would be like a zombie apocalypse, except for instead of hoarding guns, the survivors would be the ones who had deep freezers and were hoarding meat.
Yeah, I think you're right.
These weird
right.
thoughts that went through my mind at the beginning of this when
Well,
none of
but-
us were
But
understood
no,
what
I
was
mean,
going on.
the possible breakdown of civil society, right? That would have been,
Sure.
yeah.
Just to sort of play with the sort of chunkiest numbers we can. So nationally, that increase was basically 90%. Okay. For the same period, what was the percent increase in sales of guns in the great state of Michigan?
Ooh.
Higher.
More than 90.
150%.
More than 90? Partial credit. It was 200% increase.
200%.
Wow.
State of Michigan, yes.
Well, they had to have something to take into the Capitol at Lansing. So-
Right.
For the dress rehearsal.
Right. Point weapons and scream at people and then go to the U.S. Capitol. Yeah.
Amazing. The European Commission, the executive arm of the European Union, denied funding for 6 towns in what country after nearly 100 local governments declared themselves free from the ideology of LGBT?
What country were they in?
Say
What?
that again?
Russia?
Not Russia.
Turkey?
The European Commission.
Oh, they're not in the European.
Sometimes when
Union.
you say
sorry.
crazy nonsense stuff, it doesn't make sense the first time. Could you repeat
Yeah,
that,
read it
please?
again. What?
Yeah.
The European Commission, the executive arm of the European Union, denied funding for 6 towns in what country after nearly 100 local governments declared themselves free from the ideology of LGBT?
It couldn't have been. Is it someplace surprising like Sweden or the Netherlands or
Or Spain or something like that?
France or
Is it?
It's definitely European. We've got that much.
Oh.
Someone said Russia, and I'm like, it's surprisingly not
Hungary?
Russia, but it's
Hungary?
close.
the Czech Republic?
Finland?
Poland.
It was Poland. It was
Poland.
Poland. Based on a 2020 survey, an international gay rights organization cited Poland as the most homophobic country in the continent of Europe.
That's it. I'm not eating Polish food anymore.
Man, I had to ruin it.
Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry.
That's why Hamtramck seceded. So they can
Yes.
do
Yes.
their own thing.
Yeah.
Fun off.
And I am not giving up Polish food, by the way. So.
Yeah. Because the day you don't bring me over bags of pierogies to,
Yeah. They better come back this year. Seriously.
Okay, one more for the good of the order here.
Oh.
These have been great, Stephen. They've definitely got us talking.
Yeah, he gets a coffee mug.
Mhm.
Yep.
The
For sure.
country considers itself, I've never heard this before, the birthplace of wine, with a tradition going back nearly 8,000 years.
Egypt.
Not Egypt. See, that would have made sense to me.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Tigris, Euphrates.
Euphrates.
1,000
Valley?
years, you got to be.
Okay, who?
I'm gonna
Babylonia,
say
Syria.
China.
Sumeria.
Is this one of those things where the Italians try to co-opt it again?
I'm gonna
No.
say
Oh, okay.
would it be someplace in
China?
8,000 years?
No,
Japan?
no.
Russia.
Getting closer, but it's not Russia.
Poland?
Who makes good grapes over there?
I would give it away in a split second by saying this is the only country in the world, if I'm thinking about things correctly, that shares its name with a state of the United States of America.
Georgia.
Georgia is what it is. Georgia is the birthplace of wine.
I'm calling that one.
I don't believe
I
it.
want to see birth certificate here.
Greece before them.
I want a birth certificate on this one. I'm not buying that one just
Or
yet.
Bulgaria. I mean, Bulgaria was Thrace in Greek times. Thracian grapes.
That's right. That's
Was
absolutely
Because
Ernest and
nobody
Julio
else was squishing grapes and letting them sit around for a while.
I
Nobody
just don't believe Georgia. I'm not buying it.
well.
Not sold.
It makes me think on like a global scale of driving through any interstate in the United States and seeing like, world famous pancakes. It's just, I mean, it can't be every place, it's.
I just want to declare for the record that we are the birthplace of Kool-Aid, and you are not taking that away from us.
In Detroit or America?
America.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hell yeah.
America.
Or what about Detroit for, having Lions fans? I mean, come on, there's enough Kool-Aid to go around every Sunday.
Did I hear that McDonald's is bringing back its orange drink?
Yes, I heard that too.
Man, they better.
Lions
They
fans
are.
know how to drink the Kool-Aid, that's for sure.
Yeah, but they need a diet one. I used to love McDonald's orange drink, and now
Me
I
too.
don't have it.
I don't think I could drink it now, but
Wasn't it Fanta though?
no.
It was Fanta
It's not-
after it was the original orange drink.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Fanta doesn't even hold a candle to the original.
I did see that movie about Ray Kroc with Michael Keaton.
Oh, wasn't it great?
Yeah, it was really good.
Very good
I
movie.
was surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but after you recommended it, and then I thought, all right, I'm going to go watch it.
Did you start
Go to
craving Big Macs?
What?
Did you start craving Big Macs?
Well, if the last thing in the world that I eat is McDonald's French fries, that will be fine with me.
Yeah, that's all right.
There is no sharing of my sister when she came to visit me not too long after I'd had my surgery, and I was like going to have a few McDonald's French fries. This was the big thing right after getting parts of my colon chopped out. I wanted some McDonald's French fries, and Sally's like, well, if you have too many, we can share. And I said, no. Sharing and McDonald's French fries do not happen in the same sentence with me.
I love it.
Well,
I love
I've
it.
had plenty of McDonald's French fries. I must confess, I have never had a Big Mac.
Me neither. I'm not a Big Mac person.
I don't know. I just never. Should I? Is that something I should do? I mean,
Possibly someday, but you
Sure.
have to leave like 6 to 8 hours to be ill afterwards.
It's really the only time it sounds good or is good is if you're like really hungover.
After you get some of that Georgian wine.
Yeah, like a McDonald's Coke and a Big Mac when you're hungover.
McDonald's Coke. We
And then you
swear
could
by
just, yeah.
it. 100%.
throw some-
Otherwise,
originated-
it's really
some
hard to
orange drink
justify.
in- Throw some orange drink into it.
Originated
Right.
over 8,000 years ago in Georgia, by the way. Pretty
Orange
much-
Some Big Macs that tasted like they originated 8,000 years ago.
Yeah,
They
no,
will
that,
still be
um,
around 8,000 years from now.
well, but the movie does a good job of sort of showing how you've got these guys, right, who have this incredible idea, right, and they figure out how to, bring it to the market and make it work, and then how corporatization, as we now think of it, screws everything over in the end. So
That's right. That's exactly right.
the poor McDonald brothers.
Oh. Well, on that very positive note, the time has come for us to say goodbye. Jeff,
Nuggets all the way.
Dan,
Goodbye.
Beth,
Chicken does not come in nugget form.
Stephen,
Goodbye.
Stephanie,
As a former McDonald's employee, goodbye.
Heather,
I've never had nuggets either.
Good
and
grief.
Dave.
I know. I just.
See ya.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy. Ask the Professor is transcribed in, all of our homes, but usually it's in the Briggs Building in the Department of Communication Studies in the College of Liberal Arts and Education at University of Detroit Mercy's McNichols campus. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Maio.